How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the build-up. Big day today, Arsenal away to Brighton. I'm here with the Don. What are you saying?
Yeah, good, man. Good. In the building. I've let the other guys go today to the game. They've been pestering me and being on my case all the time. Robbie, when we going to get an away game? They've got the away game today in Brighton. I don't know, man. And then James has gone and got sick.
Yeah,
so what's going on, man? Maybe I'll nip down to Brighton anyway. But no, I'm in the studio today. Looking forward to doing it in the studio today. Brighton's always a great away day. Loads of the guys are on their way down there right now as I speak. Just spoke to Cecil about 15 minutes ago. He's on his way. It's pouring down with rain. So hopefully that rain will ease off. But yeah, building up to the big game. Got to remind you guys, don't forget to play Top Squad, right? If you don't know what Top Squad is, we're going to run a little video now that will just, bring you up to date with Wagwan. Run that.
It's time now to head over to Top Squad.
If you want to play Top Squad, the link is in the description. Get involved with that today.
It's a load of fun. We'll be playing throughout. We will, but don't pick any Spurs players. I'm in. I know. I'm in.
Enjoy the game, play Top Squad.
Yeah, get involved with Top Squad. I'll let you know, I still love that celebration from the other day after the North London derby. That was absolutely brilliant. In the studio, in the ground, I've got to say, for me, that's the best atmosphere I've seen at the Emirates for... I think the only game that I can remember where it was as good as that is 2 games. I remember one time we beat Man United, right, in the, I think it was Thierry Henry scored.
Oh, the header.
Yeah.
First year in Emirates, I think.
And the place lit up, right?
Mad.
And there was another time we played Barcelona. Remember that time?
Yep.
When we beat Barcelona 2-1, and it was an incredible atmosphere. But the atmosphere of all the games so far this season, and I'm sure it's going to be the same again in Brighton today, because the travelling support is unreal. We're sold out. So many people have been hitting me up this week. Robbie, can you know anyone who's selling a ticket? Where can I get a ticket? It's going to be a great atmosphere down there at the Amex.
Yeah, I've learned now. I got to do my research and I've come back.
The Amex.
It's an easy mistake to make. It's Amex, innit? It's Amex, either or.
At the Amex today is going to be lit, man. It's going to be brilliant down there, and we're building up to the game today. As I said, I've got to just say, first of all, get well soon going out to James. He's not feeling well. It's not COVID. But he's not feeling very well, so James is out of action. Was supposed to be at the game today, didn't even get down to the game. Big up Cecil, who's going to be on the ground. Pippa. He's going to be on the ground down there as well. Loads of the guys all heading down there now. Ty's on his way down to the Amex. That's going to be interesting. But no, it should be absolutely brilliant. And if we can get 3 points, Turkish, just after I was watching the game earlier, Man United. Yes. Man United luckily holding on for a 1-1 because Everton scored a goal right near the end. But it was ruled offside, quite rightly so.
He should have shot.
He passed it to Yerry Mina. Mina was offside. But if we was to win today...
One more thing, Rob, before we go into him, we was to win today. Remember when Lingard used to dance at the Emirates and the United fan used to chat shit to us about that?
Oh, yeah.
Look now, Townsend celebration. Disrespect at Old Trafford. Love to see it. Now you man know how I felt when Lingard's doing nonsense at the Emirates. Man did sue in front of the OT
celebration.
crowd.
That's 2 weeks in a row. Last week, Emi Martinez was taking the mick out of them as well.
Yep.
And then Townsend's celebration, he did the Ronaldo celebration. And that was unreal. But... on the real, if we was to win today, beat Brighton, which is not going to be easy because Brighton are a good team. Remember, they're above us, right? And could have went top if they would have won their game against Crystal Palace on Monday. But if we beat Brighton, we are 2 points behind Manchester United. Would you believe that after the start of the season we've had? So there's lots to play for Arsenal today. There really is. And I just want to see a really good performance today. How you feel about it, Turkish?
Listen, when you lose the first 3 games of the season, you need teams above you to, drop points and, hit a bit of this sort of form that United have hit. Leicester haven't really hit form this season. Everton have done pretty well.
They've done very well.
They've had a shock managerial change. I don't think they expected Ancelotti to leave, but they've done well. I think with Arsenal now, if we win, forget being on top of Tottenham. I don't care about Tottenham. I come from an era where we just, didn't discuss them until the game came about. And then it is what it is. United 2 points away from us. going into the next international break when we went into the last in the league. 0 goals, 0 points. It makes a big difference because form is one thing, 3 wins out of 3 is one thing, and if we can beat Brighton 4 wins out of 4, but we've got to look at others in the table and hope and pray that, you know, they continue to drop points here and there. And Man United's one of those.
Yeah, and, you know, even Everton are above us. I think we'd be within 2 points of them as well. So, you know, it could be a very significant victory if we could get it today. Big up Lee Judges in the building. But it could be a very significant victory. But we know it's not going to be easy, despite the fact that we've got back-to-back wins over them last year. Yeah. Surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you look at Brighton, especially this season, a lot of fans have given Potter credit for what he's trying to create there. I know last season didn't go well for them. They finished, I think, was it 16th or 17th, close to relegation. But they've started this season well. Potter's stuck to his ways. Some games they'll, you know, let the opposition have possession and try and hit and counter. Some games they'll try and take it to the opposition. That's why today's interesting, because I want to know how they see Arsenal. Do they see Arsenal as a team that they can, at home, go up against toe to toe? Or do they see Arsenal as now, with 3 wins under their belt, should we let them have the ball a bit more? Should we set up and stifle? Because we've seen in the past that kind of does, you know, stifle our attack at times. But generally, Potter's done an amazing job at Brighton.
Yeah, I'm interested myself to see how Arsenal are going to play today. I really am, because they kind of done both elements brilliantly last week against Tottenham. You know what I mean? When they were on the front foot and they were attacking, they were brilliant, and they really stuck it on Tottenham. But when they sort of was a little bit more conservative, they were brilliant on the counter-attack as well. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal approach this game today. Because, you know, as we said, we're coming up against a very good side. You know, Mopé's been scoring goals. You know, and as you said, they play very good football, Brighton. And I mean, they play a very good pattern of play.
And if we have a look at the table, which should pop up shortly, look at
Top Squad! Top Squad!
These are your fixtures today. Let's play. Everybody starts with a £100 million budget, and you can then spend that budget on up to 4 players to make up your squad.
I know what players I'm picking already.
Stack your millions on the player you think will get you the most return during the game. You get points whenever a player in your squad achieves a milestone in real time.
Hat-trick incoming!
Arsenal have gone to such a international break on a high, but if we win against Brighton, then it definitely will be a high, Rob, because Brighton are the best team we would have played in the last 4 games.
Yeah.
I include Tottenham in that, because Tottenham didn't show up and they've been poor all season.
Yeah.
So I think Brighton are definitely the team out of the last 4, Burnley, Norwich and Tottenham, that are going to be the most difficult.
It's the biggest test.
Yeah,
it's the biggest test, which is weird to say, as you said, seeing as we played Tottenham last week, and you'd have thought that would have been the biggest test. But the biggest test is Brighton, because, like you said, of how they've started the season. But I saw, you know what, I saw enough in that game the other night against Palace.
Yeah.
Palace should have won that game.
Yeah.
Palace were by far the better team. Palace were the team on the front foot, creating all the chances. They should have won it. Ayew had a chance to make it 2-0, miss that absolute sitter. But then what I've got to say about Brighton, the fighting spirit that they showed to then still keep going at it, and they got their chance at the end, and Mopé was clinical.
Yeah. That's the worst case scenario today, a last minute goal from Neil Mopé. You know, I hope Ty gets back safely. You know, but at the end of the day, it's not often a team, score last minute savers or winners in a week. So I think, Palace deserved the win that day. They nearly got over the line. Brighton saved themselves. And that's why this game, for me, it'd be interesting to see how they take it against us, because that was probably their poorest performance of the season so far.
By the way, we are live here, right? So big up to Ahmed Abbasin, who says, this is pre-recorded, fam. It ain't pre-recorded. I know you think probably, why has Robbie in the studio? Why is he not at the game? I am here live in the studio today. Cecil's at the game. As I said, James was supposed to be at the game as well, but unfortunately he's not feeling too good today. But we're holding a fort in the studio today. Big up Rabadan with a super chat. He says, Arsenal 2 points behind Solskjaer FC in round 7. Would have made decent odds after 3 rounds. He says, Ollie's a football genius. He says, God, I love football. And he says, YNWA. Right? So, but yeah, I mean, really, really looking forward to this game. And as I said, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, no, it will be. It will be. And for once, I'm going into a game excited. I've gone into games intrigued against Norwich and Burnley because the team is fresh. But they didn't fill me with excitement for the next game. It was kind of like, all right, 1-0 wins, we got over the line, 1 goal out of open play. But the Tottenham game now, off the back of that, you can only be excited for the next one.
And do you know the thing is, right? And I don't know about what other people feel about this, but this is one thing that I've been feeling this season that I think could make a difference to Arsenal in them club. 2 things. We've got to keep the injuries to a minimum, especially to key players. We saw last week now, we've lost Xhaka for a couple of months. If we can keep the injuries low, but then I think something else that I think is very significant this season is the fact that we do not have European football. Under normal circumstances now, we would have played a game during the week and then we'd be facing Brighton. It's a bit different this time. Arsenal, coming off the back of a great win that has lifted the spirits around the place, and now all of those players, without any distraction, have been able to all week just focus on, right, let's take this into the next game. And the next game is Brighton. It's not a game midweek away in Prague or away at Napoli or away, you know what I mean, where, you know, going to these games in Europe, I've said this a lot of times to people, right, that when you see a lot of games sometimes in Europe and you think to yourself, oh yeah, it's an easy game for Arsenal or an easy game for... We're seeing already even this week how Leicester are struggling in the Europa League. You go and play teams and these teams are up for it. Their fans are up for it. For as far as they're concerned, this sometimes is like the biggest game they have played in their history or for years and years. So even though you might rest a few players, you still got to bring a good team. You saw Tottenham during the week, even in the Conference League. They were struggling against that team that I've never heard of in my life. They had to bring on the cavalry to get the job done. But Arsenal haven't got that now. They can just concentrate and focus and go back to the training ground and hone what they're doing and just be fit and ready and up for 100% prepared for the next game. And I think that makes a difference. When we played Burnley the other day, that would normally have been off the back of a game during the week. We didn't have that, and you could see the team looked a bit fresher. So I'm just thinking to myself, these might be things that give us that little edge in these type of games. That's what I'm hoping to see today. I'm hoping to see an energetic Arsenal.
Yeah, and the more you talk there, the more I think about it, and I say to myself, without Europe and spending 150 million in the window, I can understand slightly why people are asking for top 4, top 6, even though I feel like it's out of our reach. I can understand why, because without Europe, you need to take advantage of that. You need to take advantage of, no longer quick turnarounds. You don't no longer have 2-3 days in between games to prepare. He's now got 4-5 days to prepare the team. So I think as much as we're looking at the team is fresh, Arteta this season has to now get it right. He can't have another lull. He can't have another negative, let's say, because it will erase the good done in the past few weeks. So today
the aim, I said it did a show yesterday, News Daily, and for me, the aim this season, realistic aim, has to be top 4. That's the
for who?
For us, that's the aim.
No, but as fans, or are you saying that's what Eddie should have come out and said?
For fans and for the club, a realistic aim has to be top 4. I'm not saying that we're going to get top 4. I'm saying that's the aim now. A few weeks ago, I was just looking at it and thinking, boy, you know what? I don't even know what the aim is, but I was still saying at that time when Edu was asked that question and he was like trying to skirt around it, I was like, no, the aim should still be European football. But I still feel like looking at the way we've gone on a little run, I'm just saying to myself, the aim needs to be top 4. I'm not saying we're going to get top 4, but I want to see this team fighting for that top 4 position. Now that they've brought in some new signings and that, fighting. May not get it, but fighting. Let's be let's that when March comes, we're not out of the conversation.
Again.
You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. And I think what you're saying is the aim should always be top 4 for Arsenal Football Club.
No, I'm saying the aim this season, it should be top 4.
From 8th to ask for 4th. in a window where Man United improved, in a window where Chelsea improved, and Man City and Liverpool don't really have to improve. I get you saying the aim is that, but I don't think it's realistic. I think top 6 is more realistic.
Yeah,
aim.
I'd say to you, I don't think. If you asked me to put money on it right now, I'd still say I wouldn't put money on Arsenal getting into the top 4.
Yeah.
They've got a lot to prove for me to. But the aim, that should be the aim. They haven't got no European football.
Now, if we're in and around the top 4 battle in March, April, and so on, and we lose that and we're 5th, 6th, it's definitely an improvement on what we've seen the last 2 years. Definitely.
Yeah.
But with what the other clubs have done, I need more of these sort of performances from United.
Oh.
I need Ole at the wheel for at least another few months. Yeah, because if they flip it and bring in Conte or Zidane or someone, then it changes around everything. Man City, Liverpool started well. Chelsea, I think they've started well, albeit 2 losses the past week. Man United are the team that, if any, gonna drop out the top 4. It might be them, but there's no team ready.
You know it is, Turkish. You've got to be hovering in and around that argument so that if any of them slip up, we know that all 4 of them teams have got better players than us. But we got to be hovering in and around that conversation so that if any of them slip up, we can pounce. And that's what I'm talking about. AFC Max here with a super chat. He says, I don't see us dropping points till Liverpool. And watch it, will the same team as Tottenham. He said, and watch it, will the same team as Tottenham, but the only difference is that will be a midfield with Odegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe and Partey, and Pepe will be on the left. 2-0 win. I think he's talking about today. So he love from Australia.
Odegaard comes. So he's saying Odegaard. I mean, yeah, he said Odegaard didn't start. No, Odegaard did start. So, Xhaka. So you're saying Emil Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, Pepe comes in for Xhaka, and he goes on the left. Okay.
It's going to be, of course, there's, we'll be doing the starting 11, an hour, hour and 15 minutes before the game. It's going to be interesting to see what the starting 11 is.
Surely you can't get it wrong today. It's so simple because look at the team we had over the last 3. Okay, Xhaka came in for Tottenham, but
who comes in for Xhaka?
I'd say
save it to the starting 11.
Because I am doing starting 11
I know you're
today.
going to be on the starting 11. I'll say for me personally, Sambi Lokonga comes in, but I don't know what your view is going to be. But you save it for the starting 11. But yeah, it's
Pepe, Rob. Because I spoke to Ryan yesterday for Box to Box, and he mentioned Pepe as the player that he's looking out for because Pepe tends to do well against Brighton.
True, and Pepe's a weapon, but Saka was brilliant last week on that right hand side. I wouldn't drop him unless there was any little niggle or something. For me, Saka starts. Saka's, he was brilliant last week. Goal and an assist. It's got to be Saka for me.
No, I get that, but I kind of understand what AFC Max is saying there. Maybe that's an option to go with, but I'm not sure. We have got some clips from the Box to Box that I did yesterday with Ryan Seagull Social. So here they are, people. Opinion that I asked James and Cecil earlier about how we think Graham Potter and Brighton will approach the game. It is at your grounds, your stadium. You have been performing better so far this season. Do you take the game to us, or do you sit back and pick out opportunities? I asked this because against Everton, I saw you retain possession for, I think you had 60% of the ball. Yeah. But then against Leicester, it was 30% of the ball. Everton, you lose 2-0. Leicester, you win 2-1.
Exactly.
So,
That's what I'm saying. Like our whole thing this season is completely different. Obviously, we had the expected goals and all that last season where it was just ridiculous. 70% possession, 25 shots a game. This season, we've gone a little bit more, maybe conservative, but it's worked. So we can't really complain. But against Arsenal, I don't know. I think, obviously, as I say, you had a good game last time. I think your midfield's good. It'll be big if we haven't got Basuma. I think if we haven't got Basuma, again, we could notice it against Palace. You could tell he wasn't there. And I think for the first time against Palace, we missed Ben White. So I think...
a bit of composure from the back.
Yeah, and maybe, he can fill in the midfield as well. He did that last season when we needed him. I'd have liked to see Yakamoto a little bit more, but I think if we haven't got Basuma, we've got a task on our hands. I think because obviously, as I say, your Smith Rowe, Bukayo Saka last time were just on it.
Energetic.
When you give them those sort of chances, they're not going to let them slip. So, I'm worried about you guys because I know Pepe loves a goal against Brighton as well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
But and obviously Ben White coming back, but hopefully we know his weaknesses and we can take him apart instead.
That's what I said to James. It'd be interesting to see how he returns because obviously, what better club knows Ben White than Brighton?
Yeah,
someone we haven't talked about yet, Ben White.
Yeah, Ben White going home.
Yeah, he's called it the Ben White Derby, Ryan did. And thanks to Ryan as well, because that was a wonderful box-to-box. If you haven't seen already, every week we do box-to-box. Yeah, in the ground sometimes. Brentford allowed us in. Brighton have allowed us in.
You got your links, man. You got your links.
Now, big up Cecil for that one. Because I know Cecil's probably watching someone saying, Rob, don't give those credits to Turkish. That was Cecil. Big up Cecil for that one. But yeah, 100%. I think seeing Ben White against his old club will be interesting because there is some sort of pressure there. It's a different sort of game to the last few we've had. Burnley and Norwich, different to Tottenham, and Brighton, I think, different to all three. So,
and it's going to be interesting to see, as he said there, if Basuma plays, because Basuma's, as we all know, as Arsenal fans, we would have loved to have had Basuma, in the summer. He ended up staying. He's been brilliant so far this season, but injured for the last game. I think they're saying that he might sort of they're doing a fitness test on him today. I'm expecting him to play. Every time I hear that, they play.
With an international break as well, he'll have a couple of weeks.
He'll play, man. I think Welbeck's out though. Welbeck's definitely out. I think, Welbeck with his pace and power, and again, that would have been another player with a point to prove against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Would have been very dangerous, but Welbeck's out.
Yeah.
So,
I want to ask you a question because yesterday on the warm-up, me, Cecil, James, we have a segment called the Spotlight On. And that's an Arsenal player. Cecil did, try and put in Mikel Arteta as the person to put the spotlight on, but we asked him for a player. He said Sambi Lokonga, so he's hoping he plays. James said Aubameyang, because how well he led the line against Tottenham. Can he do it away against Brighton? Smaller pitch, less space to work with. And I went with Ben White because of obvious reasons. Who would you go with as the Arsenal player to put the spotlight on in this game?
Thomas Partey. Because I think, especially if Basuma does play, Thomas Partey being in that midfield for Arsenal is a real difference maker. It's a player that we've missed badly. And every time he plays, it's a different Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's more commanding in there, and plus as well the fact that there'll be no Xhaka. And no matter what you think about Xhaka does bring a bit of steel and size and that to that midfield. I know me and you argue about it, but he does. He brings a bit of he brings a presence to that midfield. He may not.
He brings something. Everyone tells me he brings something.
But don't you think he brings a presence? Like you're not going to bully Xhaka.
No, I get that. I see the way players, tiptoe around him, but at the same time, there's some players that take advantage of his volatile nature.
Yeah. So I think for me, Thomas Partey is a very important player in this game for me. If he can get on top of that midfield and control that midfield for us like he's done in the past couple of games, I think we've got a great chance of winning that game.
Yeah, we've got a few super chats there, I think, Rob.
Yeah, I've done all those, but there was this one here, which I can't see the bottom of it.
Who was it from? Was it from Shriram?
Shriram,
yeah. I got it here. I think Arteta deserves a lot of credit for all the transfers. Been amazing, and I hope he can prove us all wrong and take us back to glory. Come on, you Gunners.
Yeah, listen, I think it's too early yet to say. Remember, it's just been these new signings. I want to judge. I'll start judging the new signings sort of beyond Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? But what I would say, the new signings have all started very well. Tomiyasu, I've been very impressed with at right back. I think he's made a great start to his Arsenal career. So has Sambi Lokonga. Aaron Ramsdale has made a great start to his career. All of them really. Odegaard has been brilliant.
Tavares,
so far, all of them have sort of hit the ground running, but this is what football's like. It's about consistency. Let's see, but so far so good.
Yeah, like you said, I think 6 months is the time to start analysing the transfers, and 2 years is a sufficient amount of time to say whether this window was a success or not. I say that because I've learned my lesson. In 2019 we spent 150 mil, Pepe, Tierney, Saliba, Guendouzi, Torreira, and I thought, wow, good window. I think I gave it a 7 or an 8. For me, that's very high. And then the next 2 years we finished 8th twice. So I need to reserve judgment.
Yeah, we never played any of them, and then one of them was always injured, right? At least Mikel Arteta is actually playing.
Yeah, let's hope there's no injuries, Rob. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
on
hopefully.
That,
Mark Denny says a win today puts more pressure on that rubbish from White Hart Lane tomorrow. As much as I want it, I think, like we said, we don't care about them no more. We've done what we had to do. It's all about us doing what we got to do now. Football Champ says the spotlight is 100% on Ty.
This is the Mope versus Ty Derby. This is what that is.
Oh yeah, man. Trust me. Big up Ty, man.
And it's half time in a lot of games across the Premier League right now. We got a few games. I might as well read out the scores. Burnley, Norwich, the two we beat 1-0 recently. They're drawing 0-0 at the moment at half time. Chelsea, Southampton. I believe Chelsea had a goal ruled out, but still going 1-0.
Chalobah scored him.
Chalobah, yeah, Chalobah. Leeds also 1-0 up at home to Watford. I think it's Llorente getting the goal over there. And last but not least, Wolves Newcastle 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah, Wolves got the first goal. He-Chan and Hendrick replied for Newcastle, so 1-1 over there. Obviously, Joe Willock's over there. I'm not sure if he's playing, but yeah, I look at the games there. Does any have an effect on Arsenal? I guess where we are right now. If I look at the league table again, Wolves, yeah, not really. It's still very early days. It's still very early days.
Listen, it is very early
West
days.
Ham, Brentford, they're 8th and 9th. So West Ham, Brentford play tomorrow. So obviously we can go ahead of them at least for 24 hours. So let's hope we can get the job done.
It's all about Arsenal now going on a little run. You know, we were 3 games, 3 wins on the bounce. Let's try and get a 4th. 4 wins on the bounce, and then we go into a run of home games.
Yep.
You know what I mean? A couple of home games. So, you know, let's keep that momentum going. And that's why I said that the importance of not having that game, that European game during the week. I still look on that and I think that could be quite significant. Agent E says we need Thai reaction video from the Amex. Amex? No, Amex.
Amex. Come on.
Robbie, make it happen, please. Don't worry.
American
I'm
Express.
still trying to find out where you got that from. When I saw those videos and I heard you saying that, hi guys, we're in the Amex. I'm like, the Amex, where's that?
Yeah, listen, people have corrected me since. Hands up, it's not the Amex, it's the Amex. What is it?
Amex.
Amex, 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 Amex.
Ain't no R in it.
Listen, we're there once a season, Rob. I don't need to get it right. I don't have an American Express card. I don't want an American Express card. I'm good. I'm going to call it the American Express Stadium. That's what it is for me, American Express Stadium.
Albie says, let's hope the momentum continues. Guys, come on, you Gunners. Oddie says, I honestly think Gabriel is our most important player.
That's a good
He's
shout.
been brilliant. That's it. He's a great shout.
That's what I like, though. When I ask people man of the matches now, it's different players for different people. When I ask people who's the spotlight on, it's different players for different people. You know, and when we ask, you know, who's our best signing so far, it's different players for different people. And that bodes well for maybe the short-term, well, not short-term future. Well, yeah, let me say short-term future because we don't know how Arteta's going to work with all of these lot.
Mujadid says, why not start Martinelli on the left? Now, to me, I just look on it and say, you know, why change anything? That would be my opinion from last week.
Yeah.
It worked. It worked very well. All those players played well. They've had a whole week, as I said, to recover, and I wouldn't be changing anything, but that's just my opinion.
It's just obviously Xhaka get well soon, 3 months out, so that's a necessity. But even me, if Xhaka didn't pick up that injury and he was going into this game, even I'd say you remain consistent with your lineup and go in with him again. But with his injury, I do hope someone gets a chance, which I'll get into in starting 11.
Yep. Well, it's going to be interesting, that starting 11, to see who's going to be in there, who's going to be starting in that. I'm enjoying this show, man. This build-up show.
Yeah, it's
calm. Have to sack
it's
man, isn't it?
Well, James is sick, so I don't know what your policy is. So I don't know how it. But
Hey, James, Cecil, why? Oh,
let Cecil go do his thing first. Talk to him after the game.
Yeah, let's see how Cecil gets on
the videos.
See how Cecil gets on down
James,
the ground. They've been bugging me, man.
Last minute.
When are we going to get an away game? You got the away game today, right? You got to deliver.
And you got a proper one. Rain, dark trip back. That's a proper away game.
Trust me. You know what I mean? They have to deliver. They're under as much pressure as Arsenal today. Trust me. Because if they don't deliver, trust me.
Yeah, well, you know what? Big up James as well, because he delivered for this show in particular. He did provide the graphics and the stats.
Big up to
whatnot,
James, man. Big up to James, man.
And it's been a year since they've been here, which is mad.
Is it how long already?
Yeah, it's been a year.
Wow.
So if you want to get rid of them, you can get rid of them now because
they do a great job, man. And you know what? It's good to, it's funny enough, when they came in, everything was sort of studio based. Everything was we weren't at games. It's great to be back at games, and it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere down there today. I'm jealous of them not, but it's going to be a great atmosphere in the studio. I saw last week. I'm actually in the studio to make sure it don't get mashed up after what I saw last week when I saw Charlene. you know what I mean, and LV General mashing up my studio, man. I'm like, yo, what happened to these man?
It's all mad. I can't lie, it's all mad. I was looking at it, all I see is Shah at the front, next thing LV, Shah's legs in the air, then I see Josh, I see Brennan. It was all mad.
Mayhem
but I
in the
understood
studio,
it,
man.
I understood it.
Trust me, and it was mayhem in the ground. I don't know about where Lee Judges sits. You know he sits in the posh seats.
Yeah, you know
so
over
probably
there.
go like, oh, hello.
Yeah. had a sip of the champagne.
Sip of the champagne.
Said,
Turn around to Granite Xhaka's dad. That was great.
Okay, yeah. That Turkish guy, I don't know what he's on about all the fucking time.
You know, I never say anything bad about him.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
No. Yeah, we know Lee. You're one of us. Yeah.
Lee, come back to the real fans. We need you back in the stands. That Diamond Club doesn't suit you, mate.
Diamond Club Lee Judges, man. Trust me, that's what we call him. But big him up. He's in the studio today as well. And we're looking forward to having you guys on board for the watch along. Don't forget, Top Squad. Get involved with Top Squad as well. The link's in the description. You can play along. It's a great bit of fun whilst you're watching the game as well. So make sure you get involved with that. And don't forget, coming up soon, in about the next 15 minutes, we're going to have the starting 11. That's going to be so interesting. Who starts for Arsenal today? What's the starting lineup going to be? Going to be interesting to see the Brighton starting lineup as well. Does Basuma make it into their team? Will Welbeck make a miraculous recovery? Going to be really interesting to see that as well. Turkish will be leading that coming up in 15 minutes. Then we got the big match. We got a great lineup in the studio for that.
And you're back for that.
I'm back for that.
Your first watch along of the season.
First watch along of the season, and we got fan cams from here in the studio. We got fan cams down at the ground. You know what I mean? It's going to be absolutely incredible. So keep it locked here on AFTV. Looking forward to the game today. Brighton of Hove Albion versus Arsenal at the Amex. Make sure
at the American Express Stadium. American Express Stadium, people.
I couldn't resist it. Right, make sure you check it out. I will see you back in 15 minutes for the starting lineup.
Come on,
These are your fixtures today. Let's play. Everybody starts with a £100 million budget, and you can then spend that budget on up to 4 players to make up your squad.
I know what players I'm picking already.
Stack your millions on the player you think will get you the most return during the game. You get points whenever a player in your squad achieves a milestone in real time.
Hat-trick incoming!
Someone not performing, sell your players here and buy another.
Brand new live in-play fantasy football game.
The main aim is to manage your squad like a boss and score points. Finally, check your rank at the end of each contest and collect your loot. The more points you score, the higher you rank. Welcome to the new age of fantasy.
Got my main man in, I've spent all my money.